Hey everyone, hope you had a great weekend. Hope everything is going well for you so far this term. I just wanted to go over a few items from last week, from this upcoming week, and go over. I think there was only one quiz question that folks had missed, so I just wanted to go over that as well. Um, I'll be doing this every week. You'll have an Ed puzzle and sometimes I'll go over content in the Ed puzzle. Sometimes it will just be a review of items from the prior week and then also any quiz questions that I think I would need to address. So hopefully that makes sense to everyone. So last week we really were just kind of getting started. Talked a little bit about the role of health service administrators, kind of some of the function of a leader in the healthcare setting, those types of things. So we did go over a little bit of that. We also touched on cultural competency, and that was our written assignment for the week. So I know that there were some students that had some difficulty submitting to the Turnitin system. I think that if you were submitting on Sunday, yesterday, I think that there may have actually been some issues with Turnitin because it seems like most folks were kind of right around the same time frame when they were trying to submit, and some folks had some issues. So if you've sent me your paper, I've uploaded it, but hopefully, we will have other papers that will need to be submitted via Turnitin. So hopefully, we won't have that issue in the future. One thing that I will say is that if you're trying to submit from a tablet or from a like an iPad or from a smartphone. Turnitin doesn't like those those systems, unfortunately. So you do need to submit it from a computer. But I think even using a computer, there were some issues last night. So, but I haven't had any issues uploading them today. So hopefully those issues are resolved at this point. So obviously we had our discussion about kind of the role of the healthcare administrator and how things have changed over the past several years, and how that has changed the role as well. We had our APA education. I will be going through and pulling out any of the questions that you might have had in there. I have not done that quite yet, but since everyone had until yesterday to complete that, but I will be answering the questions. You'll log back into Edpuzzle to see those answers, and we'll have that every week in the Edpuzzles, where you can see if you ask a question, I will answer it in there. However, one thing that I will say is when you ask questions in Edpuzzle, I will not see it until the next week's grading time. So usually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the following week. So if you have a question that is very time sensitive, perhaps related to an assignment, etc., please just send me an email, stop by my office, give me a call, and I'm happy to address those questions right away. And then we had our quiz and we had our reflection paper from last week. So I'm looking forward to digging into those. So for this upcoming week, the week that starts today, we're talking about a few different things. We're talking about strategic planning, and we're also talking about the legal and regulatory area. So things like corporate compliance, ethics, laws and whatnot that we deal with in the healthcare setting. So we've got a couple of videos to take a look at this week, and hopefully we'll give you kind of an overview of some of those items, and then also we have a couple of reading assignments as well. I have included the classroom slides for that when we're teaching this class on ground, which unfortunately we're not this term, but the slides that I use in that discussion. So those are in there for the just for your review if you're interested in taking a look at those. We're going to be just a traditional written discussion board this week, not in the Flipgrid. We will kind of go back and forth. Hopefully you are finding the Flipgrid interesting. And the more you do it, the better you get. So we will be doing some more of those. And generally, I find that people don't love them at the beginning, but by the end of class, they really do enjoy the Flipgrid more than the written discussions. So this week, what I want you to do is go out for the discussion and look at an organization, healthcare organization's web presence. So look at their website, social media feeds. Maybe this is an organization that you are familiar with. Maybe you work there or you're a patient there. And then think about how look for their mission, vision, and values, which should if it's a large enough organization, they should have that posted online for everyone to see. And think about how the mission, vision, values lives in their operations and their management, or perhaps you don't see that. Maybe an organization has a mission that says they provide a lot of charitable care, or they do certain things. And maybe you're not seeing that as coming through their web presence, their social media feeds, or even just your own personal knowledge of the organization. Hopefully that's not the case, but hopefully most organizations are actually following their mission, vision, and values. But so talk a little bit about that in the written discussion this week. And if there are links or anything you want to share, feel free to do that. We also have a group case study this week. There's 5 different groups. If you're not assigned to a group, let me know. I know we've had some changes, folks coming in and out of the class. So I think I've captured everybody at this point, but if not, please let me know. I'll get you assigned to a group. And there's 2 different case studies. They're down here at the bottom of this item. I think they're also listed in your syllabus. And with the case study that you're assigned to, your group is assigned to, is noted there. So I want you to look at the case study, whichever one, and then do a 6 to 8 slide PowerPoint presentation detailing your group's response to the case study. Now, one thing I will say is this is group work, so it's not a sign. I'm just going to pick on people because of the first list. It's not, Catherine, you create 2 slides about the first question, and Michelle, you create 2 slides about the next question. It's a group project. So however you want to divide up the initial work is fine, but that final product needs to be representative of everyone in your group. And you will have a self-assessment here, right below it, that you'll complete and submit to this space. This is not done as a group. This is your own individual assessment of your work in the group as well as your peers. So this is to deal with issues where maybe we have somebody that doesn't participate in the group at all. If that's the case, you're not going to get credit for the group's work. So make sure that you're working as a group. If there are problems, issues, please feel free to reach out. But learning to work effectively as a team is such an important element of the healthcare system. So we really want to make sure that we're doing that well. So any questions about that, let me know. Then we also have a quiz, and then obviously the Ed Puzzle, which is this right now. So let me bring up our review quick. I think we just had this. I think it's just one. Yeah, just one question from the quiz last week, from the week 1 quiz that folks got wrong. So the question is, which one of the EI, or emotional intelligence dimensions, is defined by having a propensity for reflection, an ability to adapt to changes, and the power to say no to impulsive urges? So Daniel Goleman in the emotional intelligence kind of theory as related to leadership is popular right now from a research perspective. A lot of people are doing a lot of work at research on emotional intelligence, and it's a good way to look at leadership overall. It's one of a multitude of leadership theories, but I think this is probably something that's very reflective of folks moving into these healthcare leadership positions now. And one of those elements of emotional intelligence is self-regulation. So self-regulation is our correct answer here. And that is the ability, as the definition states, but it's really the ability to control oneself, control your emotions, and not react emotionally to things. So in healthcare, oftentimes we can have very emotional situations that we're asked to take part in as a leader, making life and death decisions, working with physicians and families. And so we need to be able to regulate ourselves. So, reflect, adapt to change, have the power to say no to some type of a impulse. And all of that is really kind of wrapped up in that self-regulation. So it's an important element of emotional intelligence and something that we want to be aware of. So let's flip back to the class here quick. Like I said, this week we have the discussion, we have our group case study, we have our quiz and the Ed Puzzle, and that's kind of typical of what our weeks will be, a discussion, an assignment of some sort, and the quiz and the ed puzzle. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I have office hours Tuesday through Thursday each week, but I'm also available outside of that time. I'm happy to meet with you in the classroom, virtually if you'd like. We can always chat on the phone, and I'm always available via email as well. So feel free to reach out, and otherwise, I will see you all in the discussion boards this week, and have an excellent week. Thanks.